I was troubled, really, if I'm honest, with the reality that I sat down with 7 black male student athletes before one described a healthy relationship with both his biological mother and biological father. And I'm not saying that to disparage the black family. I'm saying that those realities are contextual and there are reasons for those dynamics.
If you are wondering who is Dr. Ty Douglas, you should know that he is a professor, author, diversity consultant, and top motivational speaker. Long before writing books, being an award-winning teacher, or speaking to thousands, he was nearly aborted by his teenage mother. Fortunately, his life was preserved through his mother's courage and a strong community who supported and encouraged him to live to his potential.
My story began in the womb of a 19-year-old college freshman who had to decide between a degree in nursing or a degree in me. It's a story that led her really to, if I'm honest, an abortion clinic where she literally felt me move for the first time and decided that she couldn't do it. She needed to keep me. And it's because of that I recognize the significance of not just moments, but movement. That strategic movement is the difference between sometimes winning and losing. And obviously I'm not just talking about myself now. I'm talking about organizations, I'm talking about schools, I'm talking about leaders who need to know when they need to strategically move and the moments that matter most.
If we don't know the context of where people are coming from, the brokenness that they bring, then we can't really effectively lead them.
Still, his educational journey was not easy. Growing up as a dark-skinned black boy in a school environment that was not always affirming of his identity and abilities. Even as a promising student athlete, his middle and high school years were particularly tough.
I know what it's like to be a student who was written off, by a high school guidance counselor who literally described me as an average student with average academic ability on a recommendation letter, no less. And so, to now have a PhD, right? To have gotten a PhD with a 4.0, like I can viscerally show students and teachers the reality that it doesn't matter where you start, and it doesn't even matter how people describe you, but you actually can make it.
This experience inspired him to prove his guidance counselor wrong, and it serves as fuel for his passion to ensure teachers, coaches, and leaders understand the impact they have on the destinies of young people.
It makes you feel like you're worth. And I think each one of us, whether we're 15 years old or 55 years old, we need to be validated and we need to know we have worth and that we have a purpose. And Dr. Ty brings that, and he makes you feel good when you walk out of here.
I love speaking to college students. And I think that's because college is really where I found myself. High school was a challenge. But as a graduate of community college, as a graduate of an HBCU, as a graduate of PWIs, I've navigated multiple or diverse college environments and not just survived, but thrived. And so I bring that to the college student. And also I bring strategies for how they could, like me, be able to start a business right out of graduate school and also finish grad school debt-free. Those are the messages that we need to hear now more than ever in this context of the new normal in our world.
Like every event that happens on this campus, you should be bringing these kids from the community because they want to come, but mama worked a double shift last night. Should sleep. And there's a baby who's watching stuff on YouTube right now, but they should be in this room, but you didn't invite them.
Students and athletes of all backgrounds relate to Dr. Ty's story, which includes his experiences in athletics and community college, where he rediscovered his zeal for learning. For over 15 years, Dr. Ty has taught and mentored pre-service and full-time teachers, coaches, and leaders across the globe. He has spoken in countries in Africa, Europe, the Caribbean, and South America, and served as a consultant for the NCAA, NFL, and other collegiate and professional organizations. He has also shared the stage with top motivational speakers like Dr. Eric Thomas and Jeremy Anderson. Grounded in his training and expertise in diversity, equity, and inclusion, his mission in these complex times is to remind every teacher, coach, and leader why they chose the noble profession of education or coaching.
And so as a leader, as an educator, I draw on my story, but I also connect to the stories of those in the room because each of our stories matter and our background shape what we see and what we don't see. And so as someone who studies space, as someone who has taken time to research and to study the keys to leadership, to sport, to schools, etc., I recognize that there are things that we sometimes don't see, not because they're not there, but because we haven't taken the time to understand how our stories impact what we see. And that's why organizations bring me in.